Hi everybody, so we're welcome to a modern matchup. As you can see right here, I put in the comments. I actually put Rip Mox Opal, right? No, so my opponent right now, I just put in the comment section something about Mox Opal. I'm like, how are those Mox Opals doing? So we're here in a modern match. Right here we have, kind of look at here, we have Visions of Beyond, we have Archive Trap, and we have Drown and Lock. So I'm gonna pass my turn onto this, and he's going to scry. So we're going to go ahead and kind of do that right here. So you can pass this. Just want to look at something really quickly. Okay, so this will be our turn. So probably blue-white control that we're facing. I respond back to my opponent. So we are just going to sit back here, and we have Glimpse the Unthinkable. So he probably has a counter spell in his hand, but we're still going to make our move. We're still going to push for the Glimpse the Unthinkable. And so the reason why he wrote about Mox Opal again, when I created the match, oh, and this person's saying Affinity is what got him into Modern. Yeah. Yeah, that stinks. Yeah, so this, I think he joined my matches to talk about Mox Opal, right? There's no problem with that. I like MTG Online a little bit. It's a little different to Teferi Time Raveler. Okay, that stinks. Yeah, so that pretty much like negates our Drown in the Lock, doesn't it? Right. He chooses to opt to draw a card off Teferi Time Raveler. So MTG Online, it is kind of beta. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It, like, if you're playing MTG Arena, but look how it goes through every step. It goes untap, upkeep, draw, main. This will teach you how to play in tournaments. Attack, block, damage. It goes through a sequence of each phase. So it's kind of like if you ever took a class like in college or high school, it's like a hard class, but you like learned a lot from it, right? This is what kind of is like. So what we're gonna do here is we need to get our land out of here. We can't counter anything. We can't do anything. So I think, well, we'll keep Visions of Beyond in our hand. I really just want to draw out of our mana base here. And we're just going to go ahead and pass our turn. So he's going to use his ability. So yeah, I think we're definitely playing blue-white control. And blue-white control is going to make a comeback because the Urza deck got hit. Now, a lot of people are buying Mox Ambers. You can also check out my video where I do talk about the Mox Opal bannings right on the YouTube channel. So you can go ahead and check that out. So Teferi Time Raveler, as you can tell, it'll go up in value even when it rotates out of Standard because it translates into Modern. And any card that is currently dominant in a Standard format but goes into Modern, unless it sees a banning, it will. You have to kind of put that disclaimer. It'll do good. And Drown and Lock is just a dead card right now. So we're gonna actually destroy a land right here. And if he doesn't use it, that's fine. Then our ghost card becomes a strip mine. He probably does have a counter spell that he can maneuver out of this, but and again, Teferi has really locked us down. So he's gonna let the mill go. I'm thinking he tapped his mana. He might have a mana leak here, so let's actually look at his graveyard and kind of assess this really quick. He's got the spell snare, okay. Cryptic command, okay. Snapcaster Mage. No mana leaks. Let's try playing this. Visions Beyond. And if he had a counter spell, he's going to counter this, like right now. Yep, mana leak. I knew it. I was going to wait next turn to cast it. I didn't see any mana leaks in his graveyard, so my brain was telling me he's got a mana leak. Percentages would tell me if he's playing with a mana leak, he'd have it in his hand because we have milled him with 22 cards in his graveyard. So if he had a mana leak, probability it's in his hand mathematically, and it sure was. And just by his tapping nature, that's just a very mana leak player. It's just the way they tap their mana. It's a different type of tappage. Is that a word? So again, we're going to bring down Polluted Delta, try to get things out. if we can get down Hendren Crab, we can kind of win these grindy matches, but that Teferi Time Raveler is really just stopping us. Because technically we have Drown in the Lock, which is a massive counterspell. So kind of go ahead and kind of like check all that out, right? So this Teferi is just wrecking us. But yeah, that stinks. I have had a lot of people on my when I was talking about the banning on that one video, a lot of people message and say that the reason why they got into Modern was their affinity, and so we have to draw out our land here. We're just trying not to top deck land. Drown in the Lock's a dead card. That's why I like Assassin's Trophy, guys. People say, well, how can we play with Assassin's Trophy? Because it's just really good. It destroys everything. Drown in the Lock has limitations. It doesn't get rid of, so we draw our Hendren Crab. So if he doesn't counter this, we can kind of grind him out. Yeah, we can with our Hendren. And he's going to wonder why we're playing 4 colors. More likely, so we can start to mill him down. He's down to 18 cards in his library. So he's going to have to... Alright, so he casts... And if you have less life than an opponent, you gain 6 life. If you control fewer creatures than an opponent, create 3 1/1 creatures. Okay, so that's going to be his win condition there. Okay. Of course, we couldn't counter it because, well, Teferi Time Raveler. Alright, Narsa of the Veils. So when he minuses, he looks at the top 4 cards of his library. This is going to have some benefit to us because that's actually like milling him for 1. So we have 16 cards left. This is a life total, 16. We don't care about his 19 life. We care about this 16 cards left in his library. He's going to return Hendren back to my hand with Teferi, and then he's going to swing. Yeah, so who would have known? In Modern, you win with a soldier token off a timely reinforcements. That's why I like Modern. It's a little different than Standard, but I do like Modern for those reasons. All right, so yeah. All right. So he could have, well, Cryptic Command's out because he doesn't have the mana base for it. Force and Negation he probably has. So do we hit him with Hendren and then Fraying Sanity? Which one? I want to see if he's going to counter Fraying Sanity first. We're going to make him choose. This is going to be a tough decision. He knows we have Hendren, but Fraying Sanity alone could really... That's a... Yeah, so he's going to keep the Hendren in play. Right, we're going to bring out Hendren Crab. And I'm guessing it's going to be countered. Right, you can't force a negation it. No, stays on the battlefield. Oh! We're grinding him out. Fraying Sanity. Alright, Snapcaster Mage. So, Fraying Sanity, basically what it just states is that enchant player at the beginning of their end step, so this is from Hour of Devastation, or, yeah, this is from Devastation. So, enchant creature puts it. So, basically, if we mill him for 3, he'll get milled for 6. If we mill him for 1, he'll mill for 2. So, for each card that goes into the graveyard, an additional 1 goes in. Does that make sense? Alright, so he's going to pad the exile. Yes, we'll use the ability to draw out our land. We get some blue action in here. But he still gets milled for 3. And then he's going to get milled for another 3. And we're actually going to kill this. And by putting the Snapcaster in his graveyard, he's going to get milled. Oops. Tabbed it for black. Alright, let's see here. Black, blue. He's going to have to mill another card. Because this will be put in the graveyard. Yep, so he'll lose. So he'll mill 4 cards. He's down to 8 cards. When he draws, he's down to 7. We're at 15 life. He's got 3 creatures. He's got 7 cards in his library. I don't think he wants a Narsa of the Veil Detention Sphere. Okay. So he's going to grab Fraying Sanity. He's going to smack us around. So you say after the Mox Opal banning, what decks? I think he's playing with the deck that would go up in value. Obviously, Jun becomes a lot stronger, but this deck, blue-white control, I think kind of goes up. We do have Extirpate, so let's see. We do want to mill him with Extirpate. How many Jace the Mind Sculptors do you think he has? You know, I'm just kind of curious. Snapcaster Mage. He's playing with Gideon of Trials, huh? I want to mill him with. This is gonna be weird with Extirpate. Oops, I'm tapping my blue mana. Typically, they run more than one Jace. So hopefully it's in his deck. No? He literally has... he has no win condition. Besides the 3, because we milled him out. So... I can't believe we're drown and locking on a creature. He's going to counter it. Cryptic Command, a 1/1 drown lock. It sounds weird, but actually it's not a bad move because he's got to kill us quick. He knows that he can only draw for so much. Alright. And we're actually going to keep Overgrown Tomb in our hand because if we top deck a Hendren Crab, then that's going to be huge. Celestial Colonnade can become a 4/4. So you're saying, well, why did he Cryptic Command? I mean, it makes sense because he knows he has to kill us, right? Like, he knows he has to kill us, like, pretty quickly. And by killing one of these creatures, it slows. We actually would gain a turn overall. So, like, mathematically, he made the right play. It's just weird to Cryptic Command when somebody's just trying to kill a 1/1 token creature. But in his stance, he's going to look at the top cards. He's going to grab an Opt. Now, again, he didn't see what we saw. He has nothing in his deck. And what did he reveal? An Opt. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. Okay. Yeah, so we're just going to discard that. He's got nothing. So we're going to drop down Incinerating Bridge. Each player draws a card, then discards a card. Alright, so I think that's going to be game. If he can't counter Incinerating Bridge, that's over. He's going to Opt. So he's in. We just view it as he's going to mill himself because he's going to draw a card. You have to think like a mill player. He's going to Opt again. We know he has nothing, right? He doesn't know that though. He didn't see what we saw. Right, so we're going to begin the sideboard. Yeah, we're just nasty. All right, so okay, so Drown Lock's not that good. Jace the Mind Sculptor is actually good in this matchup. I think we take out a Drown Lock though, and we board in an Assassin's Trophy. I also think that, quite frankly, we're good. Incinerating Bridge played its role. We could get after it. We can Meddling Mage. We actually Pithling Needle, Teferi Time Raveler. Yeah, let me do that. Let me Pithling Needle, bring down a Pithling Needle, and we'll take out a Drowner Lock, and I think we're good. And here's what I put down. How are those Mox Opals? So that's the reason why he joined. He's like, yeah, those aren't good. All right, so the question is, he's got Leyland of Sanctity, right? He's got to have it on his sideboard. He's blue-white, so this would not be a good hand. See how Drowning Lock's kind of like a... Let's keep it. But if he's got Leyland of Sanctity, this is a bad keep. All right, he doesn't. All right. Bring down a Polluted Delta. Pass our turn. For those standard players, you're like, what is Polluted Delta? So basically, it allows you, these are called fetch lands. You can sacrifice Polluted Delta, search your library for an island or swamp, put on the battlefield tapped. In Watery Grave, things like Watery Grave are their islands and swamps. So you can search for the shock lands, basically. Like here, I'll show you. We'll search for Watery Grave right now. So this will be an example, right? It's an island and a swamp. So technically you can fetch for it. See? Island, swamp. All right, moving on. All right, just to get another fetch. All right, we're going to bring down Verdant Catacombs. Pass our turn. Kind of move that along. Truck. Alright, and then we're going to fetch again. I don't like to use all the fetch lands because of the fact that if we had Hendren Crab, he's going to get milled for a lot. Remember, Hendren Crab, whenever a land comes under our control, he mills the top 3 cards. But we keep on getting land, and we're fetching for land. So, this is... yeah, we're just going to drop down Ghost Quarter, pass our turn. Well, you know what? Let's get Fraying Sandy on the board. Get a counter spell out of his hand. Yep, Mana Leak. Alright, no. Alright. Let's Surgical Extraction. And of course, he only has 1 Mana Leak in his deck. Oh, he put in his sideboard too. He's got over 60 feet. He put in his entire sideboard. 1 Mana Leak. All right. He's got 64 cards in his library. He put in his entire sideboard. That's why he's slower. He's like, screw it. I'm just gonna put in every single card I have, sideboard and everything. I probably should have paid attention to what he had in his hand. Probably would have been a smart decision. I was too busy talking. Let's see. He'll most likely counter this, I'm sure, if he had a counter spell in his hand. Yep, Force of Negation. Alright. Just get it out of there. He'll probably fetch. Well, no, he doesn't. Alright. Rest in peace. When enters the battlefield, exile all cards from all graveyards. If a card or token will be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. Pretty good card. So it shuts down our Drowning Lock, it shuts down our Surgical Extractions, it shuts down our Extirpates, it shuts down a lot. Good card. He's gonna fetch. He's gonna bring down Narsa the Veil. Right. He's gonna -2 its ability. Narset, the Veil also shuts down our Visions of Beyond. Well, he's pretty open, so let's Inquisition a Kozilek him first. Rip out a counterspell. Yeah, Detention Sphere. Oh, he's got Path Exiles. Mind Fear only for 5 or 6. Wow. All right. Pass our turn. Yep. Narset. Jace the Mind Sculptor. Just what the doctor ordered. Yeah, so this is blue-white control. This is the other side of it. Of course, there's Jace the Mind Sculptor for you don't know, so I'll let him do his thing. It's +2. Look at the top card of your library, your opponent's library. You may put that card on the top or bottom of their library. 0, draw 3 cards and put 2 on top of the library. -1, return target creature. -12, exile all cards from target player's library. And that player shuffles. Yeah, so basically, that card is a win condition by itself. Well, yep. So he's got complete control over. So unlike game 1, he's got complete control. He's gonna look at the top card. All right, pass the turn. I'm ready to ghost quarter my own land here. We get Overgrown Tomb. I'm ready just to just fetch. Okay, right here. Each player draws a card. Yeah, being able to look at the top of our library and put at the top or bottom. Actually, you know what? Let me go into the game log and see what he's doing with that. Gotta see if he's putting at the top or bottom. So you put it on top, so we want to shuffle our library. This is how you get around Jace. So if they leave it on the top, it's not a good card, right? If they leave it on the top with Jace. So we want to use a fetch land, get it out of there, reshuffle our library. Yep. And then we get Assassin's Trophy. Each player draws a card and then discards a card. Okay. And of course, with Narset of the Veils, nobody can draw. Our opponents, we can't draw more than 2 cards, so we can't draw a card. So it's a nice little combo. He can draw a card, but we can't. Each opponent cannot draw more than 1 card. So let's get rid of Jace the Mind Sculptor here. If we can, we'll try. Counter target spell with 2 or less. Alright. We'll ghost quarter his land. Yeah, so I think he's going to win. We're just sitting with a Drown and Lock. That's all we got. is a dead card. He puts it on top. So I'm going to ghost quarter our own land to shuffle our library. Yep, and draw some land out. Ensnaring Bridge. Alright. right, so this is interesting. We have an ensnaring bridge. He's got Jace the Mind Sculptor, Narsa the Veils, Rest in Peace, but his Mind Sculptor is going to win the game. Look, his minus 12 ability, exile all cards from target player's library. Then that player shuffles their hand into their library. We got one card. I'm not going to quit the game. I'm going to let him enjoy using the Jace the Mind Sculptor. Very rarely do you get to use its ability like that. I'll let him get the joy of winning. I won't concede. See how he plays it out. Yep, so 0 ability is draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. So basically it's like a brainstorm. Alright, we're just going to play through the motions here, let him win the matchup. Normally I'd concede, but yeah. Alright. The game's over. We go to game 3. People are like on MTG Arena, they're like, what is going on? There's a game 3. Alright, so yeah, he just concedes. So anyway, that is the match. Alright guys, so feel free to share, subscribe, and like. Drop in the comment section. Blue White Control. We can come back.